My wife didn't defend me. Stayed silent. She heard him call me dead weight. And she stayed silent. What happened the next morning changed our marriage more than the insult ever could. Stay with me. It was a Saturday night at a rooftop restaurant in Boston. Crystal glasses. City lights. The kind of place where success is worn like cologne. My wife, Natalie, works in corporate finance. Sharp mind. Fast promotions. The kind of woman who belongs in rooms like that. I manage supply chain operations for a regional distributor. No fancy title. No headlines. But I work hard. I provide. I show up. I thought that mattered. Her firm was celebrating a major acquisition. Her director insisted spouses attend. I knew I wasn't walking into my world. I just didn't expect to feel erased in hers. We were seated midway down a long table. 12 people. Loud laughter. Expensive wine. That's when I noticed Victor. Perfect suit. Perfect smile. The kind of man who scans a room like he's calculating value. When the waiter came, I ordered salmon. Simple. Victor leaned back and said, loud enough for 3 tables to hear, smart choice. Probably didn't want the steak price shock. A few people laughed. I smiled politely. Natalie didn't look at me. Then it escalated. Supply chain, right? He said casually. Must be tough watching your wife climb faster than you. Another laugh. Quieter this time. I waited for Natalie to step in. One word. One glance. Anything. She adjusted her napkin and took a sip of wine. That silence was louder than the insult. Victor leaned in later, voice lower but sharper. Women outgrow men all the time. Happens. Ambition needs equal energy. And then he said it. Would be a shame if she's carrying someone who slows her down. Dead weight. I didn't explode. I didn't defend myself. I went to the restroom, locked the door, and stared at my reflection. Not angry. Just, small. The rest of the dinner blurred. She laughed at his stories. I watched the skyline and counted minutes. In the car, she talked about the bonus announcement. I finally asked, are you going to say something about him? She exhaled. He jokes like that with everyone. I didn't want drama in front of my director. And there it was. Her reputation over my dignity. We went to bed in silence thick enough to choke on. The next morning, I was already at the kitchen table when she came downstairs. Her eyes were red. I sent him a message, she said. I didn't respond. I told him if he ever speaks about you like that again, I'll file a formal complaint. And I told my director what happened. Still silence. Then her voice cracked. I realized something last night. I've spent so much time proving I belong in those rooms, that I forgot I already chose where I belong. That hit. She wasn't defensive. She was ashamed. And that's different. The conversation. We talked for hours. About ambition. About insecurity. About how sometimes I pretend things don't hurt so well. She admitted she froze. Not because she agreed with him. But because she was afraid of looking difficult. Victor sent a weak apology Monday morning. She forwarded it to HR with one sentence, professional respect is not optional. It turns out he'd done this before. But here's the truth. Victor wasn't the real problem. The real problem was that for 1 second, one fragile second, I felt like I stood alone. And what saved us wasn't revenge. It was ownership. Final. Love isn't proven in perfect moments. It's proven in the moments you get wrong, and what you do after. Natalie failed me that night. But she fought for me the next day. Not for show. Not for image. For us. If you've ever sat at a table feeling invisible, hear me clearly, you are not someone's stepping stone. You are not dead weight. And if the person beside you ever forgets that, make sure they remember.